Hey. So I finally, after, I don't know how many months, it's been many a months, I finally have another 10%. I was hoping that, I'd get these videos done faster, because at this rate, me getting through my stamps will, probably not happen until, I'm a very old lady, if I make it to being an old lady. But one more stamp set down. I think this is only my third video. Maybe it's my fourth in my series. But I think it's only my third. Alright, so for this 10% video, or it's been a long time, so I'll just reiterate what my rules are. I have to use every single stamp in the stamp set, and I have to make at least 10 projects. So even if I've used all the stamps and I've made 5 cards, I have to keep making 5 more projects until I've completed at least 10 projects. So and then I feel like I've got my money's worth, Alright, so this time around, I use this Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamp set. It's that one with the kitties. It is called I don't know. Above the above the barcode, it says THMM 109, but I'm not seeing a name. No, I'm not seeing a name. I don't know. It must not have a name. Or maybe it does have a name, it's just not anywhere on the package. Okay. Here's the first card that I got done. I was going to send this one to my brother, but I think I changed my mind. So the mat behind here is pink vellum. It either came from Jennie or Roni, one of the two. And then the background mat, that was some swatching that I did for some metallic Timu colors. So it's pearlescent. This is from this Tim Holtz Big Talk Snarky book. So it comes in black and white. And these starvelings, I believe, are from Bonnie. And I put glossy accents on the balloons, as well as his eyeballs. And then the inside says happy birthday to you. And I forgot to look for that particular stamp on my very messy desk. It's either Hero Arts, but I think it's Stampabilities. It's a wood-mounted stamp. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorites. I didn't remember to pull it out. Oh, found it. I didn't remember to find it. It's Hero Arts. Happy birthday message. (2001). So that was made when I was 11 years old. So, yeah, the inside just has that, and I had lined it with some cheap, it's a patterned green paper. The pattern is very subtle. So there's the first one. And then here is the next one. I think I'm going to send this one to my brother. Did I read what that one says. Or I guess you could have read it. I can't express my feelings because predictive text has ruined my communication skills. I thought my brother would have thought that was funny. I mean, I could still give him that card. But it's square, so I'm going to have to stick it in a rectangle envelope, so I'll get charged more postage. Okay, so this one, the first mat is black construction paper. I use construction paper a lot nowadays. Even though it's ugly on its own, when it's a thin mat behind other paper, you can't tell it's construction paper. At least I can't, so I use it a lot because I have it, you know, and it's cheap. And then this beautiful matte paper, this was from one of my painted paper challenges, and this paper was made by Annie. So she did, I covered up a little bit of it, but you can still see a lot of it. She put a lot of work into this piece of paper. And then the Celebrate, that's from a Gina Marie die. I use it all the time. Shouldn't be too big of a surprise at this point. She probably still has it. I'll leave the link to her website in the description box below. I do not get paid to sell her stuff or promote her stuff. I just really like her stuff. I guess that's what we're doing nowadays. We've got to let people know that we're not being paid. I cut it out of some... Oh my god, everything is just falling over. It's like a Swiss dot foil paper. Got that in a D-stash. And then these were some embossed black strips that I cut off of some panels from other cards that I did, and they were just on my desk, and I was like, oh, let's glue those on here. So I've really been trying to use up the little scraps on my desk. And then these are some Simple Stories enamel dots. So there's that one. Holy smoke, 7 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The inside says, happy birthday. Let's celebrate the fact you did not grow up to be disappointed. So, hopefully he won't take offense to that. We're going to cross our fingers. I mean, that's not really an offensive thing, right? You didn't grow up to be a disappointment. I can't really say the same for myself, but, you know, he's living it up. He's made something of himself. I haven't. Here is the next one. This one, I had a whole bunch of card bases that I had made collage covers on top. Just trying to use up some of the little scraps. Or my quilted backgrounds. This I didn't do the stitch marks on, though. Here's another one of those Tim Holtz Big Talks. Says, I didn't mean to push all your buttons. I was just looking for mute. These are like some metal button things that I got from Cindy. And this green polka dot paper is from Jennie. And this one is probably from Flechia. And this one is from Tina. Nope. Rosa. This one's from Rosa. I think these are from the same pack of metal buttons from Cindy. And then here is the inside. It says, I'm sorry. This was from a stamp set that I got from Rosa. I believe it's Hero Arts. Here's the next one. I like how this one turned out too. And it says, from the moment I saw you, I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life avoiding you. Here is another piece of Annie's beautiful paper. You can probably see it better on this card. And then this, I had a strip of black, and then I had these really thin strips of like the cream and then the craft. And so I just made like racing stripes and mosquito. Sorry, he just fell on my table. Bastard. Glued them into racing stripes and then, you know, glued it on here. And then these enamel dots, I think they're Simple Stories too. And then here is the inside. I glued a little tiny strip left from that front page. And then here is the next one. It says, "I'm sorry, did I roll my eyes out loud?" This was from one of the sentiments from the stamp set. Same with this little flower. To do the background, I just had strips of craft, as I often do. And as one of my favorite techniques is I take this, it's probably kind of hard to see, it's so inked up, but it's just a wood grain plank set. Maybe if I had it on white. Probably not. You probably can't see it much better there. Now, I don't know where I got this from, but it's my most used. I've done way more than 10 cards with this stamp set. It's a really good way to use up scraps. And because they're lines and they're planks, if your paper's the same color, you can't tell that you've got like 6 different pieces of paper on here, you know? So it's a very useful way to use up help you use up scraps. These little studs are from this, I already put them away. These blingies called rock candies. I've got a piece of mauve corrugate behind there, and then this was, I did a bottom portion with the branding strips of the corrugate pad that I got in a D-stash, and you know, voila, there's a card front. I mean, they're kind of basic card fronts, but the card fronts, I really did put some work into them. But you can't tell. You can't tell. I guess the inside is just blank. I guess I didn't have a sentiment to put on the inside of that one. Here is the next one. The sentiment is also from the stamp set. I want you to know that someone cares. Not me, but someone. This is another one of my quilted backgrounds. This piece of paper came from someone. I just don't remember who. The rest of it was just from cover pages that I've been cutting up. And yeah, the hearts are some rock candy studs. Again, I put Dimensional Magic over the kitty eyes and the milk bottle. Inside, even the white card bases, I still mat with computer paper because even though it may not seem like it makes a big difference, it's definitely not flimsy like the 65-pound is on its own. So sounds like my oven is on. I turned it off. Here's the next one. This was there's a mat of construction paper. And then this was from the cover of a Kaisercraft paper pack that I had. And it was just the perfect size. The strips went all the way up, so I just glued it on there. I was like, oh, I didn't put any bling. No, there's bling. I just couldn't see it. This is from that Big Talks. If you ever need a slightly distracted, unsympathetic friend, I'm here for you. And then there's some enamel dots. This is the GMD Strawberry Shortcake. Sorry, I have to go. I have to run through all the enamel dot names in my head. And for the most part, I've got over 100 different colors of her enamel dots. I pretty much know the names. Just takes me a second. I guess the inside, I don't have anything but computer paper. And here is the next one. The background, this was construction paper that I did that wood grain plank stamp on. I just had strips and I did that and then glued it together. This is some corrugates, and I inked it with my brown ink pad to make it stand out a little bit more. I've got a little pom-pom on his hat. What size? Probably 3mm, if I were to hazard a guess. It's been a while since I've looked into my pom-pom sizes. I used to be more heavily in the pom-pom game. Then down here, I was like, what is that sound? I forget I have a metal roof. My ceiling's insulated, unlike my mother's, so, you know, it doesn't sound like, you're in the middle of a thunderstorm in here, but I forgot. It's been a while since it's rained, and so I've forgotten what the rain sounded like. From the same stamp set, look, I'm not saying that you're old, but if you were milk, I'd sniff you first. All these milk bottles I covered in the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic to make it into a glossy bottle. And happy birthdays from the same stamp set. Okay, and then there's this one. Again, I really like this technique. I do it a lot, and if I have strips of cardstock, you'll see me do Simple Stories enamel dots, or is that the cozy flannel? Nope. That would be Simple Stories. Hello Friend is from that stamp set. I went over the corrugate again with the brown ink pad. And then I stamped that same sentiment. I want you to know that someone cares, not me, but someone. Yeah. And here is number 10. So, there's a lot of corrugate on these cards because I had, when I got it destashed from Rebecca, I don't keep scraps in with my pads because the way I store my pads, it doesn't really work for me. And so I pulled out all the branding strips and I pulled out all the scraps, and that's why there's so much corrugate in these cards. I liked it though. It kind of went with the Tim Holtz rustic-y theme. So yeah, branding strips, Simple Stories enamel dots, pom pom on the kitty, and then this one I did the same thing. This one I distressed the edges with the distressing tool, and then this Wow You're Getting Old, that is from a Gina Marie stamp set that is no longer available. And then the Happy Birthday. I forgot to say that this sentiment, the shape I had die cut from, what was that? Came from this tag set. It was a Temu tag. Came with these two things. It was called Tattered Tag. And yeah, that's the end of my cards. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I've got a challenge going on right now. If you don't, I'm sure everybody knows. I'm sure I'm just being a dead horse. But I've got a challenge going on right now. If you want to join, there's still over a month of time to join. I'll leave the link to the video in the description box below. There's also a playlist of challenge entries if you need inspiration, but you know, it's something everybody can do. So, I'll talk to you later, and adios.